Got it. Here's a long, atmospheric horror story in English, based on your theme. It started as a temporary job. I had just moved to Chicago, broke, living in a shared apartment with 3 other guys I barely knew. So when a listing popped up for a night security guard in an old downtown office building, I jumped on it. The place, 12 West Harlow Street, was a monolith of cracked marble and tarnished brass, built sometime in the 1920s and barely updated since. The interview was strange. A thin, pale man named Mr. Corbin met me in the lobby, his voice dry and quiet like someone afraid of being overheard. He asked almost no questions, just if I was comfortable being alone overnight and if I could keep a log. I said yes to both. He handed me a keycard and a notebook, and that was that. The first few shifts were uneventful. I mostly sat at the security desk, sipping cheap coffee, watching static-filled monitors that showed dimly lit hallways and empty stairwells. The building was too old for a proper modern security system. Half the cameras were dead, the elevators creaked like haunted church organs, and the air always smelled faintly of mildew and copper. It was on the 5th night that I first noticed the elevator. There were 3 in total, 2 on the left and 1 to the right of the main lobby. The 2 on the left were modern, or at least recently updated, with digital floor displays and stainless steel doors. The 3rd one, on the right, was different. Old. Much older. Its doors were a dull, almost greenish brass, and the frame around them was ornately carved with floral patterns half eroded by time. There were no floor indicators, no call buttons. Just the elevator itself, silent and still. But that night, around 2:17 a.m., the doors creaked open. No one had called it. There were no tenants in the building that week, just me. I walked toward it slowly, notebook in hand. The interior looked like something from a noir film, wood paneling, a tarnished mirror on the back wall, and an old rotary floor dial above the door. But the dial was blank. No numbers. Just a black circle with a motionless pointer. I should have ignored it. But something about the open doors felt expectant. I stepped inside. There were no buttons. None. Just the empty walls, the mirror, and the faint hum of machinery. The doors closed behind me, and the elevator began to move. Down. Not fast. It was slow, painfully slow, but consistent. I waited for it to stop at the basement, assuming maybe it had been summoned there by a mechanical glitch. But it kept going. Past B1, past B2. I didn't even know the building had more than 1 basement level. The lights flickered. I looked at myself in the mirror. My reflection looked off. Not just tired. The angle was wrong, like the mirror wasn't aligned properly. And then it moved, just a second too late, as if lagging behind me. I reached out to touch it and felt only cool glass. The humming grew louder. The air felt thick. Then the elevator stopped. The doors opened with a screech. It was pitch black beyond them. I reached for my flashlight and pointed it out, revealing a hallway, concrete walls, dripping pipes, and wet footprints on the floor. Bare feet. Fresh. "Hello?" I called out, already regretting it. No answer. I took 1 step out. Just 1. The doors slammed shut behind me. The light above the elevator blinked off. I was alone in the hallway. I walked, slowly, following the footprints. They twisted unnaturally, sometimes on the walls, sometimes on the ceiling. After maybe 10 minutes, I reached a heavy metal door with no handle. Just a small rectangular slot at eye level. I leaned in to look through it. Behind the slot, in a small room lit by a single swaying bulb, stood myself. Not a reflection. Not a video. Me. Same clothes. Same tired eyes. But he was staring directly at me, and he didn't move. Not even to blink. I backed away, heart racing, but the hallway had changed. The way back was gone. The path behind me was now a solid wall. The only direction was forward. More corridors. More flickering lights. At some point, I found myself in another elevator, same style, same brass doors. It opened as I approached, as if waiting for me. Inside, the mirror was gone. Just a gaping black rectangle where it had once been. I got in. What else could I do? Again, it moved down. And it hasn't stopped. I've been riding this thing for what feels like hours. Maybe days. My watch died. My phone shows no signal. Every few minutes, the doors open to reveal some new horror, a room full of whispering voices, a hallway that stretches into darkness, a flickering light swinging above something that scuttles just out of sight. I write all this in the notebook Corbin gave me. Not sure why. Maybe someone will find it. Maybe you're reading it now. If you are, don't take the right elevator. Don't get in if it opens on its own. And if you do, don't look in the mirror.